What's up, guys? Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Let's go, let's go. How you guys doing? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good afternoon. I say it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You guys check out my Mr. Rogers sweaters. Appreciate them hearts. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Appreciate you, LeBron. How's everything going? Go ahead and take a moment to share this broadcast too. Because right now is our weekly recap of our Mentor Monday call. Miss Tammy, hi. Let's get them hearts going. Let's get them hearts going. Make sure you guys go ahead and share the broadcast as well. We're not going to be too long-winded, but of course, this is peace, peace. This is a recap of our weekly Mentor Monday calls, which take place every Monday evening from 8 to 8:30. But of course, we like to, what's up, Frank? My brother Frank. I know Frank gonna share this bad boy. Frank got I'm trying to be like Frank when I grow up. Frank got the 30,000 followers on each platform, man. We just trying to get by. Thank you, Frank. But of course, we do our Mentor Monday calls each and every Monday night from 8 to 8:30. Is that boost, but particularly those calls are designed for young people and their mentors, etc. I know. Look, LeBron, you got to do this with your thumbs though. For the hearts, you got to use both thumbs and go like both, like ba 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 ba. How y'all doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's get those hearts popping. You guys missed my rendition earlier of "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." Look, I'm pulled over to the side. I still got the seatbelt on. But we're going to get this thing going in a little bit because I got my Mr. Rogers sweater on, right? Because it's fall time. It's sweater season. Hashtag sweater season. You guys know what time it is. No, I'm pulled over, entrepreneur mother. I'm pulled over. I don't drive in Periscope at the same time. Like, that is beyond dangerous, and I'm trying to live. I'm trying to finish out 2015 strong so we can live in the 2016. All right, guys. So we're gonna wait till a magic number. Let's wait for 15. We're gonna wait for 15 followers, at least 15, before we get this thing going officially. I have just a couple of tips, and again, this is a recap of what we talked about on Monday night. And anybody who's been on my broadcast before or on my calls, you guys know I don't like to give advice or speak on things that I don't. Look, we lost one. Now everybody got to go share. Everybody got to go share. We need at least 15 before we get into this info. I promise it's going to be really, really good stuff. But this scope is all about 5.5 things. 5.5 things for you guys to let go of right now. And I promise you, I'm challenging myself to let go of these things each and every day myself, because the amount of weight that is lifted is absolutely tremendous when we learn to just let certain things go. And I can't wait to share these with you guys. We got to get this thing up to at least 15. 9. We just dropped down by double digits. All right, we got 10 now. Cake by the pound. Thank you so much. While you guys are waiting, please make sure that you guys join our texting service. It's completely free. I won't spam your phone. But if you guys take a moment to text at MIL Manners, at Mill Manners, to the number 81010, 81010. And hey, how you doing? Cake by the pound, cake by the pound, pound cake, cake by the pound. So if you guys text, again, the at symbol, MIL Manners, at Mill Manners, to the number 81010, then you guys will get all sorts of reminders. I'll shoot you out a reminder before our calls on Monday. We send out all sorts of quotes, just empowering events. I promise I won't spam you guys. And thank you so much for those hearts. Because we almost there. We need 2 more. We need 2 more to join in, and then we're going to get this thing going. Because we already about 5 minutes in, and I haven't said anything except sung Mr. Rogers' song, showed you guys my tie and my sweater. But I promise I'm going to actually give you guys some information, which is has been powerful for me personally as I've used the information. And I hope and I pray that it'll be useful for you too. But meanwhile, feel free again to text that. Text at Mill Manners. We got one more, 15. Let's go. But text at Mill Manners, MIL Manners, to the number 8, 10, 10. Let's get it going. 5.5 things, guys, for you to let go of right now. Number 1, and this is an obvious one, but many people are walking around with hate, anger, and pain in their hearts. So I challenge you guys to let go of these 3 things, but with one caveat, because a lot of people will tell you, don't be angry, don't be upset, don't be these things. But I challenge that. I tell you, yes, be angry. Live in your pain, live in your hate, but use them productively. Let go of any hate, anger, and pain that's not used productively. People always talk about you should let go of hate. I don't necessarily agree with that. Hate is a powerful emotion, but it can also be used productively. Hate is one of those emotions that can be used to transform your life and transform the lives of those around you. Here's an example. You can't change the system that we currently live in unless you hate it. You can't have an ounce of love in your heart for this system that is oppressing and killing innocent people by the day. You have to hate it in your heart in order for us to change this thing around. You have to hate your own personal conditions in order for you to change your life. So that's 2 examples right there of where hate can be used productively and it can be used as fuel to drive you into your future. Same thing with pain. We learn through pain. A lot of folks don't like talking about that. Oh, pain is this, pain is that. Guys, we learn through pain. Pain shouldn't paralyze you in the future, but pain is one of those situations that can teach you what not to do in the future. If you're a little kid and you put that finger on that stove or in that electrical outlet, like I used to do when I was a kid, right? Until you get a little shock, you get a little jolt, you guys see the phone? That's that little jolt that you get from sticking your finger in the outlet. But as soon as you understand that outlet is hot, you don't stick your finger in there, now you know that there's other things that you can play with. But that hate, that anger, that pain can be a very powerful teacher. But you have to use it productively. Because remember, in life, for every action, we know that there's an equal reaction. For every negative thing that happens, we know that there's the equal seed of benefit inside that thing. The exact same situation is the case when we talk about hate, anger, and pain. We can use those productively. But we have to challenge ourselves and first have an objective and a goal in mind. But life is full of opposites, divine opposites, up, down, right? Light, dark, yin and the yang. The same is true for all the emotions that we think are inherently good, right? Being happy or being, sad or angry. We think of those emotions in just one way, but too much of anything can be a bad thing. So I want that to just sink in for you guys for a second. So that was number 1. Get rid of all hate, anger, and pain that isn't used productively. All of those emotions can be used productively. Number 2, I want you guys to get rid of self-limiting fears and doubts for yourself. These are some of the most detrimental sort of thoughts that we carry on and that we hang on to just unnecessarily. I need you all to let them go because I'm challenging myself to let them go. Stop. There's that famous quote, right? And it talks about what would you attempt to do if you know you couldn't fail? That's one of my most powerful quotes. And I try to think about that as often as I can because, fear of failure is one of those fears that can paralyze you. Right. You've heard some folks, they get analysis paralysis. They're doing so much research and analyzing of this and that. They're planning out A through Z, but they haven't taken one actionable step. The exact same situation is the case when we talk about those self-limiting fears. And some of those self-limiting fears can actually be transferred to us mentally or physically from the people that are around us. So Sadiq, some of you guys on the call know my big brother Sadiq. He always talks about it. Make sure that you're not playing recordings in your head and that you're actually thinking for yourself. Because if you're always constantly playing old recordings of no, don't do this or you can't do that, then that's going to dictate our action. That's going to inform our level of action and therefore our level of productivity and therefore our level of output. And therefore, one more therefore our level of results that we see each and every day in our life. If we're not moving with a purpose without these self-limiting beliefs, then forget about it. And I meant to, at the beginning of this scope, start off with a quote, And it's the same quote that we started off with, but I'm going to end with this quote. So if I forget, please, whoever remembers me saying that I have a quote for you guys, please remind me at the end. So I'm not going to insert the quote. I'm going to give you guys the quote at the end. But that was number 2, guys. Get rid of, let go of self-limiting fears and doubts about yourself. Holla if you hear me via those hearts. If this is you, or if you've had self-limiting fears or self-limiting thoughts, I know I have, guys, but I'm challenging myself every single day to get rid of them. Get rid of them. Number 3, guys, number 3, and this is a big one, especially in a social media sort of insta fame, insta success driven society. Number 3 is let go of the act of comparing yourself to other people. Let go of that. There's so many just people, who, they'll put out this, they'll put out that, and they're only doing it because they don't feel confident in themselves. They are only doing it because they want you to pat them on the back virtually via some hearts, right? Or some likes, or some comments, or some shares, right? But they're not doing it for them, right? So one of the biggest things that I'll tell people all the time is the only time you should be comparing yourself to others is not so you feel bad about yourself or you get down on yourself. You start beating yourself up about what you're not doing or how you're not progressing as you should. Forget about that. The only point to compare yourself to somebody else is to take notes on the things that you can duplicate and institute in your own life. That's it. Role models aren't to be worshiped. Mentors aren't meant to be worshiped. Mentors are meant to be imitated, right? Our role models, the whole point of having a role model is not so we can think about, oh, you're so great, role model. I can never do that. It's the exact opposite. The only point to have a role model is so you can take notes from that individual. And so that way you can incorporate some of the things that they have done to achieve the success that you're looking for and incorporate those tactics, tips, and strategies into your own life. I don't need to be, I said it one time in one of my Facebook posts. LeBron James isn't worried about my legacy. I'm not worried about his legacy. But what I am doing is taking notes about LeBron James's moves in business and taking a note where, you know what, maybe I can diversify a little bit better. That's the only reason I have role models and mentors and folks that I look up to. Not for me to make myself feel bad about it, because guess what? I'm the only me. So I love me. I'm good. But when I see somebody else doing better than me, I don't compare myself to them except to say, you know what, man, I can probably do a little bit of that and incorporate that into my life. Because remember, guys, there's only one you. You are the best you that's ever existed. Just like today is, what is it, the 10th? Is today the 10th, if I'm not mistaken? Let me looking at my Skagen. It's about that time. I guess today's the 11th, right? Today is the only 11/11/15 to ever exist. Today is the only November the 11th, 2015 to ever exist. Just like you're the only you that's ever existed, and you can do something that nobody else can do. So why do we constantly compare ourselves to other people? Why do we do that to ourselves? So I challenge you to let it go. To let it go. Number 4, guys. Number 4. We're rounding up. We're rounding up the halfway point, right? So number 4, I challenge everyone to let go of ego and foolish pride. Ego and foolish pride. There is a such thing as good ego, right? There is you have to have a healthy ego. That's what feeds confidence, and confidence, true self-confidence, fulfills and feeds positive ego, good ego. But the foolish pride is what is completely detrimental. That's when you don't know. And you know who does know, but you won't go and ask them for fear of you looking bad or you looking not smart, right? One of my other favorite quotes is that rich men, they keep dreams, and foolish men keep pride. We don't need a ton of pride in order for you to be successful, because it's that same person that's able to humble themselves and take notes, right? And understand that every single man, woman, and child walking this planet is superior to you in something. I don't care if it's tapping into your emotions or writing or speaking or being more compassionate. Every single person on this planet you can learn something from. That doesn't diminish what you're great at, but it does mean that you can learn if you're open to it. So you have to ask yourself, right? Are you teachable? Are you coachable? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to